Kool-Aid. Come on, unmute.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So
no. Don't just jump in and start talking. Hi.
Hello.
How old are you?
I am 28.
Oh my. You need to be still. So what do you have on the topic? Can modern women survive without men?
Okay, yes. Going back to your original question, you asked if women need men to survive. Personally, I don't. However, I agree with you with everything you said in the past 2 episodes. Here's why.
Before you, I gotta ask a question. I gotta question this. You don't need men to survive? That's what you said. Personally, I don't.
Personally.
Ma'am, I call BS. Can you what state do you live in?
I'm New York.
Right. Have you ever planted food? Have you ever planted anything? Have you ever? Okay. How would you eat?
Oh, grocery store.
No, ma'am. See, the grocery store.
A lot of these women don't understand the things. I love when women say these things because they don't understand the times we're in. Sooner or later, you're not going to be able to go to a grocery store because the government is going to make it very hard for you to even buy food. We're facing a food shortage, but I love how she thinks. I just love it because this slaughter has been brought to you. This is a slaughter, and it's oh gosh, let's just keep going.
It's built by men.
Yes.
It's stocked by men.
Yes, I agree.
No. We're not going down. No. I am going to make you ladies slow down and think about what you're saying. When you come in and saying, personally, I don't need a man, and the first thing I ask you about is, you live in New York, I know damn well you ain't never seen no parts of the country, no parts of a field, no parts of an animal. Your food comes from the grocery store. Your food comes from the market. It's trucked into New York City.
Okay, so when you said I need a man,
the first thing is always thinking women think that it's always sexual, that they need a man. No, you need us for a whole lot more. Protection, building things, fixing things around the house, bringing you food. Who do you think works in those fields? It's mostly men. Working those tractors, it's mostly men. Picking up those big barleys of hay, it's mostly men. Milking the cows, it's mostly men. And it's funny. It's just, man, let's just keep going.
Meant to sexually in terms of romance.
It says for survival. Can women survive without men?
For survival.
Yes,
survival, I concur.
That's all I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about. Survive. See,
okay, so
you guys will probably have more respect for men if you start understanding that we are the reason you're here in the first place. Without us, you're dead.
I agree. Here's why. So I'm a logistician in the military. I go to a school that's 90% males because that's the field they all go to, supply chain management.
She goes to school as 90% male. Hear the stupidness that's going to come out of her mouth after just admitting she goes to school that's 90% male.
9 or 90? 9 or 90%
of the school I go to, males. Okay. So, but I'm also a teacher. 75% females in my class. So I disagree with the rugged female. Personally, I'm very rugged. I play rugby. I'm in the military.
You disagree? Okay, but stop. Okay, you disagree with, what is it you're disagreeing with? Because
that female, that rugged Karen, okay. I didn't like where she was coming from, because within the supply chain management, right, there's the difference between being effective and being efficient. Yes. So her argument was more so based on efficiency, saying, yes, women can do it. I agree. However, your response was more on the effective side. Yes, women are able to do it. However, men can do it in half the time and with half the power, and they do twice as much. So that's the difference between efficiency and being and effectiveness from a supply chain perspective. So, but ACFT, I just want to hit on that. I failed my ACFT, and I played rugby. I'm in the military. However,
that's the fitness. That's the readiness test.
Yes, I failed it when I was at the top. The test prior, I scored a 298 out of the 300. I was faster than half of these males. I have more scars on one leg than most men do in their entire.
Look, that means nothing. Men have been playing rugby for years, and men have more chipped tooths, broken ribs, and broken bones, torn ligaments than you have. So that doesn't mean anything.
Our bodies. However, I've had a lot of injuries playing rugby, so I cannot lift, and it's the same thing you talked about. I can't lift my own body weight. However, there's no equity in that.
What do you mean?
For example, my sergeant, 250-pound man, 6 feet. I have to lift more than he does. I have to do more than he does because I'm a lieutenant. So I don't see how he has to do less than I have to do simply because I'm in.
Okay, so let's get to practicality. You may be a tough competitor on the battlefield where there's not a lot of lifting necessary. Do we want a front line full of women? A front line full of men?
Men. I don't, and that's the reason why I didn't go into combat. I understood my limitations. I understood.
Okay, so you understand the fact of you talking big and bad about how you play in rugby and how you have more skin scars than men in a lifetime. I'm like, what? But you didn't want to go to combat. And you're saying men would die without you? You serious? You're not willing to go out in the front line and lose a limb or be carried home in a box where they need dental records to identify your body. But you're saying men will die without you. Okay.
That I wouldn't be able to keep up with a man that's 6 feet. Yes, I played rugby on this Brit girl, however, female. However, I cannot lift the same amount as a man that's 6 feet and 200 pounds. I'm only 5'3".
Well, why is that test there in the first place?
Why they changed it?
No, why was the test that you failed there in the first place?
Because they're trying to create a more dynamic test that demonstrates your different abilities.
Okay, no. I don't mean, I'm talking about before the military was integrated with women, men didn't complain about a standard. You either did or didn't. The test had a reason for being there. Why was it there? It made for a stronger soldier.
But here's the thing.
Okay,
there is no buts. That's what the test was there for, because the military was mostly made up of men, and men were the ones who had to fight in wars. A lot of these women who want to come in want to change the damn standard. You want equality, but you want to change the standard. You want it easy. You want some type of easiness. No. I remember watching the 300, and there was this midget that wanted to join the Spartan army, but he couldn't lift his shield. And Leonidas said, their military must fight as one. If one person cannot pull their weight, the whole team suffers. That is the point of reason why you have these test standards. All right, these PT standards for the military, because everybody has to fight as one. And sad to say, they had to lower the PT, the push-ups, sit-ups, and squats and running requirement for women to even pass. What does that say? It says women should be in another role, but just not in the combat. And that's it. Besides the fact that if you lose a limb, you mess up your face, You can't marry afterwards. You can't date. Not many men are going to really do a female amputee. I'm sorry. That is the truth. Yet you have feminism lying to these women, telling them they're equal to men and they should fight on the front line. But they are not the ones who have to deal with the fact of your PTSD. They are not the ones who have to deal with you missing fingers and legs. They are not the ones who have to deal with the fact of the trauma, the fact that you used to be going out on dates every night of the week, but now you can't. You can't. You're at home, crippled, or in a VA hospital for the rest of your life.
Before you move on, we got to acknowledge that.
I agree. Yes.
All right. Because on the battlefield, you cannot you need to have upper body strength as well as lower body strength. You need endurance, stamina, or else you make yourself and other people vulnerable.
But I think that's very narrow. The military.
Then why did Captain America?
Listen, this is the part. This is why some women don't belong in the military. Look at what she saw. This is very narrow. That's how things work. It's not about what makes you feel good. It's what works. It's about absolutes, not relative. Just because it makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, oh, we should change it. No. Our country's so slowly falling apart, and one day may be taken over by other powers because you are breaking down standards, letting, women come in who don't really respect the military. They don't. Let's hear more that she has to say.
Then why is Captain America?
That's combat related, right? However,
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. Hold on. No.
Here's the thing. She thinks because she's in charge of an important position in the military that she doesn't. She's valuable. Like, they can't survive without me. It's like she has a Napoleon complex. And it's sad to say you have a lot of women who are like this. There are a lot of women who say they don't even want to work under a female boss because they know how things go. Could it be also the fact that if a woman is manipulative and they know they could try to manipulate a male boss, they can't do that with a female boss? I wonder. Just saying.
So don't overtalk me.
Okay.
Because this is combat. You're in the military. True or false?
Yes.
You should be able to, when you're not trained to kill people and break things in basic training. That's what it is. Kill people and break stuff.
Yes.
Kill people and break stuff. Then you mean to tell me we killed you, we taught you how to kill people and break stuff. And then we need you sitting someplace where we can't use you to kill people and break stuff. So
yes.
No, because if we all of a sudden had to go to war, you should have to go out there because you have the training. And if you're saying, well, I can't get out there and do the training, can't go kill people and break stuff because I've been sitting back here, then give us back our money.
No, here's why.
Exactly.
I've been offered combat-related job, like the one you're describing, 3 times. 3 times I turned it down because I knew I was capable of it.
But this is the thing. You're saying men would die without you. That means you are limitless, that you could do much of everything in the military. But since you back down from it, you see, the thing is, like, because you have a certain position, you think because it's so important that men will die without you. Yet you're not in there by yourself. Remember, she said she went into a field that 90% of men are in. So that means if she dies off or she's killed, she could be replaced. For some reason, that's not sinking in her head.
There's an argument that can be made. You want the benefits that come along with being in the military, but you don't want to do everything that comes along with being in the military. You don't want to do the combat part of it, huh? This
is the fact of why it's very dangerous sometimes to have women in the military, because some of them have a feminist mindset. I want equality, but on my terms. I want equality, but I don't want any of the responsibility. I'll go to the military. I believe women should fight, but I'm only going to choose what I want to fight when I want to. No. This is the problem. This is why feminism is a joke, because you have clowns like this. It is a huge joke.
I'm an officer. Remember.
But I don't care if
I'm an officer. I'm an officer. These are the worst type of leaders. I am an officer. I am an officer. If you can't follow it, then it doesn't mean anything. Okay? That's the problem here. That is the problem here. This is why sometimes having a female boss, these women in the military, can be really detrimental. I'm an officer. Officer in what? You don't want to do you don't want to do the combat, but you want to brag about how you're an officer. Napoleon complex, 5'3". I knew a woman like this. I knew a woman 5'3", power complex, but in reality will crawl back to men. Spout feminism, but when the times get rough, she's going to crawl back to a man that she thinks can protect her. A lot of these feminists, they spout equality, spout all this stuff, but when it gets tough, who are they coming to? Who are they running to? They'll run to a man. They won't fight a battle head on. They'll run to a man, which shows that, they're feminists when it's convenient. Situational feminism for some. Some will foolishly go on and fight something head on that they know they can't do it. Because of their pride, they'll do it anyway and get crushed.
you're an officer, if you should still okay. You're in the military. I'm a civilian. I expect you to go die before me. That's what we pay for. I don't expect you to go take the benefits
Facts.
and then be like, oh, I don't want to go to the war. That's why, see, when I was a young guy, there was still selective service. And there's a reason I didn't go to the ROTC and get money and go into college and drive the Jetta and everything else when everybody else was going to school. And I saw so many men complaining about the Desert Storm, going to war. And I'm like, well, you took the money, now you do the war. You're getting the benefit, and all I'm saying is you're supposed to be in the army that's supposed to defend the country. And when you get called up, you should be able to do the job that you're being paid for, which is the first job, security. Logistics is fine, but eventually, if we had enough people die on the battlefield, they'd have to call you up before they start the draft. Yes or no?
Yes.
Exactly.
Kevin, I agree.
All right.
However,
Let me get on to
you will not be able to survive without me, Kevin.
Here we go. You will not be able to survive without me. You went to a school, a military technical school. 90% of the people there are men. And you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the delusion of modern women. Delusion. Get a little power, go crazy with it. You won't survive without me. Really? You know, when JFK was assassinated, another person took his place, right? If that's the case with that, guess what? It's the same thing in the military. You get shot, you get hurt, someone else will take your place. The military will damn sure function without you. These are how crazy these women is. She just admitted that there's men in the fields tilling the lands to have the grocery products that we need in New York. There are men in the field building things, building your houses, building your toilets, a lot of these feminists are just plain stupid. Without men, you'd have to fear other predators who are men, and you'd have to fear wild animals. Sorry. This is the truth that a lot of women don't want to understand. They just don't. But don't worry, the economy's crashing and women are going to have to drop that feminine. Feminism is going to go out the window.
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna show you right now.
No,
You out of your
no,
goddamn mind.
here's
You're,
why. Wait.
you out of your damn mind. I can survive without you. Me can survive without you. I don't know why you ladies think that y'all are that damn special. You can't even lift your own body weight. Yes, the job you can do, men trained you how to do it. You may be a tough woman, but you're still female. What are we talking about here? This is the same woman who made the argument to say, no, we can't. Logistics and such and so forth, but I can't survive without you. Outside of your French toast mind.
Here we go.
Unmute yourself. Why do I need you? Why can't I survive without you?
Okay, so let's say you're infantry, right, Kevin? You're out there, you're hauling ass. However, your water resupply.
I'm thinking this woman's a lesbian. I'm really thinking she's a lesbian. Just the vibes or bisexual. I'm really thinking that because this is just nonsense. And it's usually spouted off by those type of people.
Transportation. I'm in charge of all the logistics related activities. So you can't trek 50 miles. You need me.
I know what army travels on its
Yes,
food.
let's say
water.
we're
No, let me
we're
stop
out in
you. Let me
Congo,
stop
we're
you.
in
Let me
theater.
stop you. Let me stop you. You're in charge of it. But if you get shot, someone else is in charge of it. True or false? If you died, if a canister fell on your head, if you had a heart attack, someone else would step up to do your job. True or false?
False.
No?
Lies. Yep. Napoleon complex. Yep. This chick crazy. Yep. She's nuttier than squirrel poo. This woman crazy. This woman has a power tripping complex. Yes, it will survive. Yes, you are replaceable. Do you know what GI means? Government issued. You're the property of the government and you're a machine. And what do you think to have the phrase toy soldiers? Toy breaks. Get another one. That's it. People are replaceable, period. On the job, just like I said, she holding on to this little bit of power, holding on. Okay, but she doesn't understand. She's one bullet away, one grenade away, one severed limb away from being replaced.
So you mean to tell me you have the only job in the military that if you don't do it, everybody else? You mean we have a single point of failure in our logistics chain? I don't buy that one.
In the officer.
No, ma'am. Listen to what I asked you. You said I'm in charge of XYZ.
Yes.
All right. And if you are not doing XYZ, the task doesn't get done. True or false?
Yes. Here's why.
No. True or false? Does the task get done? Yes. The task gets done? No.
If I provide the proper guidance, it will be completed.
If you die of a heart attack, would the task fall to someone else or would the task not get completed?
It will be pushed on to the next ranking.
That's it right there. But she doesn't want to answer the question because she knows she already lost the argument.
So we don't need you. You just made a scenario that if you didn't do something, then I couldn't get something. And I just told you, if you died, somebody else will pick it up. We don't have a single point of failure like that.
If the military was like this, it would have been done. America would have been taken over decades ago. But it's not like that. It isn't.
Don't wave your finger and shit at me. You can do that to your troops. Oh, you want to do that with me? Oh, okay. want to keep it up? Or we going to have a conversation? Unmute yourself. Stop being silly.
At this point, once again, we see how bad our culture is. Ruled by the gynocracy, ruled by emotions instead of common sense and reason. Gone are the days of logic and cold hard facts. You know, women back in the day who actually were warriors and stuff, when they had supply chains and stuff, they realized they were replaceable. Probably very few women leaders and warriors, because very few women leaders and warriors understood what it took to run and fight in battle. And feminism was not going to be part of it. There probably was not going to be any use for feminism there. And any woman who probably even had the idea of thinking of how this woman thinks, being an officer in the military back in those ancient days, would probably be executed, because they would be a burden. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, people. Hard Talk Radio. Peace out.